Halifax. Yeah, so I am a goal director. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and basically over the last few years, kind of riding off what Kevin Guest was talking about today with relevancy, I really had to do a good look at my business and how I wanted to build it. So Halifax is my home base years ago, but I've since moved to a really rural community in Nova Scotia. Who's familiar with Peggy's Cove? It's like our famous lighthouse. Who's been there? Do you know that there's nothing around? That's where I live. There's nothing. There's no Starbucks. There's nothing. So when I was there and I had to do that evaluation of what do I want my business to look like? How's this thing going to grow? What am I going to do? I thought, okay, social media, right? That makes sense. It's free. I was broke as a joke at the time before I started my business, and I just needed to get myself out there. So basically, it didn't make a lot of sense for me to like hop in the car and drive an hour to get to the Starbucks, and you know where I'm going with that, right? So I wanted to expand my reach, and I learned to do that through social media. So who here is really like loving the social media? Yeah, lots of hands. Are you finding that you're having success with it? No? One person. Okay. Do you want to know my secrets and how I got to a goal director strictly from Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to share that with you. So today we're going to talk about a few things. So how to utilize the social sharing links, I can never say that. Adrian did a really great job about the links through Ask the Scientist, which I'm glad you mentioned that because a lot of people seem to not be using that. So I'm going to talk a little bit on a different angle. Getting to know your contacts, transforming online leads to face-to-face. This is important. We can't just hang out in our little bubble in social media world. We need to get them into real-life conversations. I'm going to share how I've done that. Creating value through education. I am huge on education. That might come from my nutrition background, I'm not sure, but I really love pumping out the education, and I'm going to share how I do that and what the results have been, and how to select high-quality prospects, because we know with social media, pretty much everyone, even like your grandma is probably on social media, right? But you need to kind of lead through and find the right people for you, and I'm going to share how I do that as well. So the question I ask myself, and I hope you guys do as well, with everything I do, it first comes down to the why. Why am I doing it? So I explained to you that the traditional way of building a network marketing business didn't really fit my lifestyle, where I was living and all that kind of stuff. So I asked myself, okay, if I'm going to be utilizing social media, why? What is the point? So this was my general answer. There's more to it, but basically I knew it was a broader reach so that I could ultimately help more people, which was really important to me, and I think it is for all of you as well, right? I wanted to grow my business from anywhere in the world. So an example, I'm from the complete opposite end of the country, and when I was asked to come here, actually, I just have to say, February, Nova Scotia, it's horrible. When you asked me to come here, I thought this was going to be like a tropical vacation. And then I was here yesterday and I was like, didn't bring the right shoes, didn't bring anything. So I was sadly mistaken, and nobody warned me on that one. But I was in San Diego, when was it, 2 weeks ago for Sweet Retreat. And it was just awesome because I literally had my iPhone with me, and I'm like bopping all around. I had delayed flights, canceled flights because travel in winter, and I could still grow my business, which is just the coolest thing when you have those moments of realization. You're like, oh, this is legit. I can actually help people while I'm stranded at the airport. So endless contacts. So again, that broader reach, expanding your reach. There are over, and this has probably increased since I did these slides, but over 800 million monthly active users on Instagram alone. So you can't tell me that you can't find people to talk to, okay? So whether you use Instagram, which I do suggest, all of these principles apply to the platform you're using, essentially, okay? So I love Instagram, but if that's not your thing, apply it to Facebook or whatever social platform you're on. So one of the things that I realized is nobody put their hand up. I think one person did when I said, are you having success with social media? I've boiled it down to a couple things. One of the reasons I'm seeing, and I have a really social savvy team. My distributors are all very social. There are a few right there. They're all rock stars on Instagram. But what I've boiled it down to is the people who can make it work versus who don't, is that they're not seeing it as a business building tool. It's entertainment. They get on there and they go down that rabbit hole and they get sucked into like who knows what they're watching. And it's distracting and it's just simply not a tool, okay? And then the second thing is, just like our core use on a business, we should have that daily method of operation. Apply that to social media as well, right? I'll give you some examples. So, with social sharing. So I gave you this example here. You guys have all seen the social sharing links, right? Yeah? Have we all used them? Have you had success with conversions in terms of, yeah? Yeah? Okay. So success, let's say you've enrolled like a handful of people through sharing your links. Yes or no? A couple. Okay. A couple. So what I'm going to show here is it's the tiniest little thing, but it's made a really big difference in terms of the results that I've got. So you see when you go to the share link, that blue button up at the top, and you're going to get that not so pretty looking link. It's like usana.com/s/mawz blah blah blah, right? If you were to send that to somebody, it's a little bit mysterious. It's like what is this? If they don't know what USANA is, that's going to be a little confusing. Okay? So the most subtle thing that I've really discovered that's really helped me with using these links is that branded links, where is it? Branded links actually help boost your click-through rate by 39%. Okay, so what is a branded link? Does anybody know? No? So there's a couple different platforms you can use. Bitly, is anyone familiar with Bitly? B-I-T-L-Y. Okay, there's a few other, I think Google shortener, and you can like design what the URL stands for. So what you would do ultimately is copy and paste that link up there, pop it into one of these URL shorteners or branding, which I use Bitly, it's free. And then, just because of that little tweak, that aesthetic tweak, you now have these really awesome looking links where I can click on that Steph's Favorite Multi, and that's a link directly to my shopping cart for the Self-Essentials. Okay? I love our sheet masks. And I always joke that it's like our 20 minutes to skin perfection, right? You put it on for 20 minutes. I love it. So I put that in my link, right? That link, 20 minutes to skin perfection, gets a lot of clicks versus if I just did that generic looking one, okay? And then my summer essentials, that was from a while ago. I can't quite remember what's in there, but I think it's like the Celavive Day Lotion, which has the SPF and a couple things that I would apply to summer. So Bitly holds all of these nice and organized, so I can just go and click, send them to somebody through text, email, whatever, and that just looks a lot better to click on, and also through social media, right, on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. So I just want you guys to get that side-by-side visual of a branded versus unbranded. What one are you more drawn to clicking on? Yeah, thought so. You're not just saying that, right? Okay. So the chances are, if you're more drawn to that, your prospects are as well, right? So that's all I'm going to talk about with that. There's so much more we can say, but that's the general thing I'm going to get across with the social links. Next, I'm going to talk about the actual body of your social media posts. Posts that convert, okay? So I've kind of found this sweet spot. This is for social media, and again, in particularly Instagram for myself. I've found that if I almost always include this checklist with a captivating photo, I provide some sort of education, I ask questions, because it's not just a one-way street. I need to open that channel for people to feel comfortable with me, right? I do a call to action, I include a social sharing link, and I engage. Okay? So what I see a lot of people doing is they'll post something, and they just send it out there, and they think because they posted it that the job is done. And then people are responding, and I see this. I scan social media, and I see that's such a clear avenue. Someone's asking for your help, and you didn't even engage with them. You just totally missed the boat on that. Okay? So engagement is absolutely crucial. So how can we break this down? Because that looks like a long list to say, okay, I'm going to put these all in one social media post, but just bear with me. So When I say a captivating photo, USANA's been pumping out some awesome photos for us to use of the products and lifestyle in general. So you can use those, absolutely sprinkle them through your feed. But if you're taking your own photos, and I do suggest, all I use is an iPhone. I don't have any photography background. I just take pride in what I'm doing. So in the beginning, I was a little OCD. I was a little like, okay, lighting, this, no, 500 photos. Anyone do that? You're laughing, so you do. But you get better, as anything, right? You practice. So then basically, good lighting and a nice clear picture with not a lot of action going on. You want it to be crisp. That's what I found is a captivating photo, right? Clear focus as well. I see some that go up and it looks like you were just doing a drive-by, and I'm like, they can't see what that is, so don't do that. So the next thing is, you want to capture their attention right away. So you guys can, when you read something and it really brings you in, that first sentence is usually pretty punchy. It's got a good catch to it. So it's either a bold question, a bold statement, something sassy, something interesting. I want your practice with that first sentence to be like an attention grabber, okay? Use some emojis if that's your thing, but that's gonna be the thing that's like hooking them in, right? And that's gonna encourage them to read more, especially if you're someone that does big, long posts. You need them to be like, okay, this is worth reading, okay? And then provide education. So, it's so funny, because a lot of the girls on my team, they'll be like, you write so well, I just wish you could be my copywriter, and that's crazy, because I usually just pluck stuff from Ask the Scientist. Literally. That's my secret. I do love writing, and I do spend a lot of time writing, but really, I take stuff from Ask the Scientist or our What's Up USANA blog, because I know it's compliant, and also it kind of follows that theme, so I can then send them a blog link from What's Up USANA or whatever, and it has the same flavor. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. And then I close with a call to action. So I ask them to do something. Asking a straightforward question. Again, you want some questions happening here. It's going to open up the dialogue. Ask them to private message you. That's intimate, right? Say something like, DM me if XYZ. Or pop an emoji in the comments if you love this quote. Or tag a friend if you think that this would resonate with them. You have to kind of lead them through the process. You've probably discovered that, right? You kind of have to handhold. So, is that all clear? Was that good stuff? Yeah? Okay. So getting to know your contacts. This is so important. Adrian, you actually said a lot of things that I was like, yes. But it's not about getting what you want, it's about helping them get what they want. Remove yourself. Of course, it's your business, it's your mission, it's your legacy, but it's about the other person, all right? So it's about helping them achieve what they want, not what is on your agenda. I want you to be more interested than interesting. Ask questions, okay? Find joy in making new connections and offering solutions for others. So something that I have discovered, and I think you will probably resonate with this, anytime my business feels hard or stuck or I get frustrated, I realize that it doesn't always click in the moment, but after, I'm like, where's the joy? I'm not having any fun, right? So if it's feeling really hard and challenging, it's almost always because I've forgotten to have fun. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
So, for myself and my girls, we're like pumping the dance tunes, and we're just like, we're kind of crazy about it. And it shows up in the results. It's that instant like boost in energy, and people can feel that from across the world through social media, right? All right. So then, the other thing I wanted to say about that is don't look at it, and I've done this before, I think we're all guilty of it as well, but looking at those tasks, like making new connections, like it's a chore. It's like, oh, I have to do my invites today. Change the language around that, because the person on the other end is gonna be like, oh, she like felt obligated to send me this, or it's scripted or something, right? They're gonna pick up on it. So building rapport, building trust, this is huge. This is so, so important. You can have the prettiest pictures in the world, you can have the most excellent advice, but if you're not building trust actively, then you're missing a huge part of the equation, all right? So building trust, is that really important to you guys? Yeah. Yeah, it should be. It should really be like an anchor in your business. So I want you to tell stories online that help people relate to who you are as a person. I find a lot of, and we've all gotten them, we've got scripted invites from other companies and that kind of stuff, and it's just like, you don't know who I am as a person. You didn't take 1 second to see that I just posted my health pack and you're asking me to sell your product. You need to connect on a human level. These prospects are real human beings, right? You have to remember that. And I think, I know we all know that, but when you can just like have that at the forefront, it's gonna make everything smooth sailing, okay? So much more so. Okay, we're not focusing on selling them. We're focusing on connection, adding value in education. So things like I said, ask the scientists, that's huge, I use it all the time. And we're creating friendships with people. So at this point, we're not asking for a sale. It might happen, and you're gonna kind of gauge how that conversation goes, but I want you to build the relationship first. And it's crazy because even with social media, you may have never met this person before, but you can still build a strong relationship through something like Instagram. A couple of my teammates, like we're scattered all over the place, and it's always so crazy when I meet them for the first time. Like Mai, who's here, we've been working together for a year, and we just met face to face this morning. And it's like, oh, haven't we met? I can't, it just feels weird because it's like it's just so advanced in a relationship, right? So that vibe really goes far through social media. So building trust, we're gonna continue with that. Your prospects want to get from point A to point Z. So point A is where they are right now. Point Z is where they wanna be. We're in the business of transformation. We are helping people transform their lives, financially, mindset, in their health, creating legacies, whatever it is, we are helping people transform. And that's powerful. That's really, really powerful. So you can't take that lightly, but you do need to have that trust again, right? So people like to hear stories of people like us. What do I mean by that? We're still building trust here, right? So people need to connect with where you were before. Show them your transformation. And I don't just mean the transformations that we've all seen where it's the weight loss journey of like the before and the after, and the before they're really sad and it's like in black and white, and then this one they're like super happy and jumping in the air. Those are effective, but I want you to be more real. I want you to add more emotion to it than that. Where were you? Like think back to before you started your USANA business. I know I was in a completely different place. Mindset, financially, the hope I had for my future, all of these things. So I sprinkle those throughout my conversations, right? So I'm helping them see that I haven't always had a business. I haven't always been able to travel. I haven't always been where I am right now. It's been a long journey. It's been a really long journey. But people forget about that, right? That whole thing of like success happens overnight. That people, they think that's the reality, but we have to remind them that no, we've been on a long journey. Is this all kind of connecting with you guys?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So where were you before? Write down these questions or take a picture. And I just want you to think about this, because it is really important. It's going to build that level of trust. Where were you before? Where are you now? How did you get there? Where are you going? What's your vision? What's the next thing for you? That vision is really powerful, okay? All right, so now we've built trust online. We want to get these people from online to offline. So I want us to remember that although, yes, social media is fabulous, it's still just a tool. And to me, I see it as a tool to connect and start great conversations. I don't leave conversations online. I get them offline as quickly as possible. I'll show you how. Do you want to know how?
Yes.
Okay. There's a much higher conversion rate when you can speak offline, which I think a lot of us already know that. It accelerates their level of trust even further, okay? So basically, oh, am I missing a slide? No, this is why we're getting them off. I'm going to tell you in a second how. So, it wouldn't be a training from Steph if we didn't talk about energy for a sec. I'm huge into energy, okay? When I say things like meditation, which Kevin said he's been working on, practicing. I've been meditating every single day since October 1st, so that's like however long, and it has changed me. Like it really has, and I resisted it so hard, so we can talk about what will make that stick. But that's energy, right? I found that my energy is so much clearer, more grounded, just from that simple thing. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to go meditate, but I want you to really do what makes you feel aligned in your energy, okay? So I do something that's called an energy audit, and the reason I do this is you'll see, I truly believe that when you are feeling aligned, you can attract people to you. Law of attraction, are we familiar with that? Yeah, manifestation, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, I've seen it happen so many times. So when you're aligned, you'll be able to attract, enroll, and sell with ease. So we're gonna do an energy audit, not at this moment, but take a picture of this. And this is what I do to kind of get myself in check, all right? We all know that clutter, I think we all know that clutter creates chaos, right? If you have a messy environment, it's so hard to think, it's so hard to think. I want you to really just take that moment and clear your space, physically clear your space first, okay? Feng Shui, it really just opens the channels. So then, your workspace, if you think of it like this, your workspace is actually a mirror. Everything in your workspace is is a reflection, consciously or unconsciously, of who you are, who you were, and who you're becoming. So what do I mean by that? Things like, is your office chair broken, or is there like a wobbly leg? How would that reflect in your business, right? Basically, that is, there's energy behind that. So if you are like with subpar equipment, you're just putting up with things that shows that you're maybe not feeling totally worthy of a chair that's not gonna bottom out on you, right? Or things like, is your desk piled with junk and stuff? Are you just accepting things as they are? I know when I visit people who are really on top of their stuff, they have clear environments. It translates and it pours over in everything, in their energy, their results. So I really, like, when I really understood this, I did a huge clean sweep. Marie Kondo, Tidying Up, you guys know that show? Yeah, it's like all the rage right now. Who just like dumped 500 garbage bags of stuff at the donation bin? Yeah, me. But it really makes a huge difference when you can clear that energy in your space. It's gonna show up in your results in business. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
Have you witnessed that firsthand?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So to not prove my point, but to give you an example, I do believe energy is everything. And going back on adding value and just giving resources and education, I really do love vision boarding. And I think a lot of us in this business do. We're big dreamers, right? So in early January, one of my business partners and I, we decided, how can we not directly do a USANA event, but do something that we can get people in to understand who we are, what we offer, how we think. So we were like, let's do an online manifestation workshop. We'll talk about the principles of manifesting and vision boarding and all that kind of stuff. And we sold $22 tickets, really low end price, nothing to do with USANA, but we attracted our like-minded people, right? So it was crazy because we did that directly after I get this in my inbox. Just to speak on the power of energy. So it says, hi Stephanie, I absolutely love the vision boarding webinar with Mary and company today. Mary's one of my associates. I'm super curious and interested in knowing more about you guys and maybe even joining your team if that's possible. Music to my ears. She just asked, I didn't have to do anything. She asked me if she could join my team, right? And that happens a lot. That happens a lot. I just find following your feed gives me an energy I can't describe, but internally, my soul is lighting up. When I got that, I almost cried. I'm like, this is it. This is exactly what we're doing. We're putting the energy out there. We're bringing it back. So I got on the phone, of course, and I said, listen, this is how we operate, and asked her a ton of questions. She had never tried USANA products before. I sent her a startup. It was, I think that was on a Wednesday. Friday night, she signed up with 3 business centers, and she just told me she just signed up 3 PCs last week. And I'm like, That is the power. That is the power of putting your energy out there and just trusting, right? There's got to be a lot of trust involved. All right, now here's the part, how to get online leads offline. So once you've done your energy audit, and you know why you're making the connections in the first place, okay? I want you to find your prospects online through hashtags and location. I don't have a lot of time to really talk about that in particular, but basically, you know how to use hashtags, yeah? Okay, if you don't, send me a message. My Instagram is just my name, Stephanie.Packer. I'm on there all the time, working. So you're gonna find your people, you're gonna warm them up, build trust, you're going to engage, comment, watch their videos, so show them that you're interested. You have to show them you're interested, so like Facebook Lives or Instagram Stories. Watch what they're doing. You don't have to, if it's like 20 minutes, you don't have to sit there and watch the whole thing, but enough so that they know you see them, okay? People want to be seen. Personally introduce yourself. So this is a little trick, and I advise you guys all use it. When I get a new follower on Instagram, as best as I can, I will send them a direct message and thank them. Thank you for connecting with me. Before I do that, I'll look through their feed and just get a little bit of who they are, and I'll make a comment. Thank you for following me. I absolutely loved your post about this, whether it's a recipe or something. And then just kind of open up that channel. A simple hello can lead to a million things, right? Just by doing that, by getting out of my own way and opening that conversation, it really has created a lot of beautiful relationships, a lot of customers, associates, just from that one little thing, which seems like it's so simple, but it's really overlooked. So does everybody do that? Do you send a hello to somebody when they, yeah? Of course you do, Julie. It makes a big difference. It creates a lot more accelerated trust, I find. And then you're going to offer the opportunity to connect offline, right? So my goal is to connect with them, love them up a little bit, and then I want to talk, like, when I say offer the opportunity to connect offline, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to present to them right there. That's like a get to know you, virtual tea date over Zoom or Skype or something like that. And then again, that just gets the process going even quicker. All right, so I can't read this on here. You guys can probably read it up there. So this would just be like a simple, if someone follows me, this is a general idea of what I would send them. So I'll let you guys take a snap of that. And this one I kind of went a little bit more to the point. I went right into like a collaboration idea. I don't always do that. So it has to fit your language. It has to feel right for you. But that's a general idea. Okay, would that be helpful for you guys to use and apply? Okay, perfect. So the next thing is when I'm talking to people online, when I'm in like really big building mode and I'm talking to a ton of people, or whether it's just like kind of here and there, I really embrace this motto. This is my motto, that it's like awesome if they join, awesome if they don't. It takes the pressure off me, it takes the pressure off them, because there's an attachment to that. So when I get on the phone, or before I send a message to somebody, I really kind of get myself centered, get the energy audit going, and I say, awesome if they join, awesome if they don't. And it feels a lot more lighthearted, easy breezy. There's no pressure, because I haven't set, of course I trust that they're going to join, so there's a difference there, but I don't have that rigid pressure behind it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, when I mentioned on one of the very first slides about having a plan with social media, like a strategic plan, I want you to work some method that works for you into your DMO, your daily method of operation. So it could look like this. This is just an example, but let's say you want to block 20 to 30 minutes off to solely focus on reaching out to people. So your undivided attention will always win. So when I'm reaching out, of course we can do it on the fly, we can do it here and there when we're like on the run, but I find that there's such a difference when, again, I can get my energy right and I'm grounded in what I'm doing, and I say, okay, for the next 20 minutes, I'm connecting with people, right? It keeps the focus clear. So you could do something like a Facebook every Sunday night. You could schedule your post for the next 7 days. Does anyone schedule their posts? A couple of us? I'll be honest, I have a hard time with that. A lot of people on my team are really organized. I have a lot of teachers, and they're just like by the book. I'm way more of the like flowy kind of person, so that's really hard for me to do, but I know that it works if you can buckle down and do it. So then what you're gonna do, as an example, go on Facebook every evening after dinner for 30 minutes when the kids are in bed, and you're gonna engage and add value, just for 30 minutes. So that helps actually free up a lot of time. To some people, they might say, 30 minutes on Facebook is way too much. But think of how many times you're going on and off all day, every day. If you can get that focused time, it's going to actually make a big difference. Or Instagram, post one photo in the morning, go make your Rev tea, which is what I do, and then I'll go on Instagram and engage. So anyone that's like commented on my photo, if they liked my photo, I'll do some form of engagement, whether it's following them back, commenting on their stuff, watching their Instagram stories, right? Does anyone do something similar to that? Yes? Do you find that it like helps you zone in? Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so then attracting high quality prospects. I should probably speed this up here. Actually, no, I only have a couple more slides. Attracting high quality prospects. So just remember that not every single person you reach out to is going to be the one. Remember my motto, awesome if they join, awesome if they don't. When you're prospecting, I want you to have fun. Get to know your prospects on a human level. I've already said all these things, but it's just to reiterate how to actually bring in high quality people into your circle. If they're not the one, I want you to trust that the one is on the way, right? So for myself, again, this is just taking practice and like just being immersed in this business and studying things like law of attraction, all that kind of stuff, is that I do have a deep trust that if that's not the right person is coming to me. And I leave that open and I say stuff like that all the time. My perfect person is on the way, however you want to say it, as an affirmation. And to recap. So, snap a little photo of that. I want you to understand why you're using social media. I want you to align your energy, build trust, provide education, develop friendships. Intentionally use social media as a tool to amplify your voice and your message. So like, be proud about what you're doing. That platform can carry your message so much further ahead than sometimes in terms of face-to-face, right? Like you can just get the message out to so many more people. And then, of course, have fun. That's like I feel like there should be like a dance song now. No, don't do that. But yeah, really, that is like what I do, laid out for you. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope that was helpful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Board Director Stephanie Packer. She was great. Wasn't she? Really good tips in there on how to use social media effectively, no? Well, while you're reaching out to your new people, you're going to want to have something to reach out to them with.